So another episode of Bob Vapes, and I've got Jake here, one half of Brews Bros.
Better half.
Better half, yeah. Well, clearly, because Liam never bothers turning up. So I thought I'd get him in. Brews Bros is really taking off at the moment, and as you lot know, I stock it in my store and pretty much vape it exclusively. So I thought I'll bring him in and have a little chat, so you guys can get to know basically what Brews Bros is all about, what Jake and Liam are all about, and all that sort of nice jazz. So basically, like, introduce yourself, really, what you do and what was you doing before you started all this shit.
So yeah, thank you for that. I just nearly fingered that coffee then by accident. So I'm obviously Jake, one of the Brews Bros. I lived around here for the last 6 months, and then before that, the rest of my life, I had a 4 or 5 year period away. I was in the military. I was in the RAF as a driver. I left that part of my life to make e-liquid. I put my coffee down, so I'm not talking into coffee.
How long was you a smoker for?
I started smoking when I was possibly 14.
14.
Yeah.
Damn, that's young. I was 15, so
yeah. Probably 14, 15, something like that.
How many did you smoke?
Then,
yeah,
probably started off on like the odd 1 or 2 with your mates. You know what I mean? And then I think when I got my first full-time job, just fancied a smoke one day, bought a pack from the shop, and then that was it. Carried on smoking.
I nicked my first cigarette from a nan. Super Kings.
I can't remember who I nicked mine from. So my brother smoked anyway, and Liam's older than me, so he kind of phased me into it, so it's his fault. And then I started vaping and I phased Liam into it, so he did the wrong, I did the right in the situation.
Again, the better half then.
Yeah.
So how did you come across E-Cigs?
Oh God, that was Liam actually. Liam came across E-Cigs, but the very first one. So like the the one that looks like a cigarette and used to light up red on the end. Yeah. We got one of them, and it had loads of stickers and stuff on the outside. I remember the first thing we did was peel all of the wrap off, so it was like a stainless steel finish. So been into customising stuff since day one. We had a few puffs on it. We bought one each and then just laughed like, this is ridiculous. Went back to smoking because the technology was poor then. So I probably went back to smoking for about a year. That was probably 6 years ago. Went back to smoking for a bit, and then when did I first pick up vaping again? So I was on basic training and I tried it because there was a lad with a box mod, a little bit like that, which at the time was absolutely ridiculous. It just looked massive and stupid, and it had a weird drip tip coming off it.
Yeah, I always thought, I was just like, box mod's never going to take off. Who's going to want a box in their pocket?
Like, the sticks were what it was all about. I had one of them. This guy had a box mod. I was like, that looks stupid. Like it's horrendous. So yeah, I had to go on that, and I thought, well, the technology's obviously come on a lot since we tried these little ones that look like cigarettes. And yeah, I think it was pretty much when I moved down to Oxfordshire. One of the lads was vaping there as well. Quite a few people were into it, and I thought I'd give it a try. And I started vaping for about a year, got really into it. And then I went to Cyprus on tour, and cigarettes were €2 a pack. And then back came the smoker lifestyle. So I came back and then got back onto vaping again, and then started making my own e-liquid. This was probably about 3 years ago now.
Is this going to start playing up? So I'm on a Mac, and it decides to keep on closing down like every time I don't press it. So yeah, good old technical difficulties. I can probably edit this out as well. So
yeah, I thought at the beginning when you started, I thought you was just doing a sound check.
Well, yeah, we could even just stop this and then just start again. But yeah. Pause. So I guess the how long you've been vaping for question you've already pretty much answered, really, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what was the first setup that made you proper say wow?
I don't know about wow.
Mine was MVP 2 and the Nautilus Mini. Like literally, because for me, I was on like obviously all the egos like you were saying, and then I got the MVP 2 and I got the Nautilus Mini, and it was just like 20 watts of power. Like that was amazing, and I was just like looking at it all the time, and then I started doing like the hand checks. I was like the proper hand check guy on Instagram and everything like that, and like everyone, like, all my mates like proper just calling me out, like just like you're just sad, vapors, you're just sad,
So,
but,
coming from me on 20 watts 4 years later.
No, but calling me sad because I was posting up hand checks like on my local like Facebook,
on your actual
and
Facebook.
no one else like vaped. Do you know what I mean? So it was mad. Yeah, so anything for you that sticks out, you reckon?
Yeah, you answered my question really then, didn't you? So I think for me, so my first proper setup, I had I say proper setup, was it the spinner V2, where you spun the bottom of the battery like round from like 3.1 all the way up to like 4 volts.
Yeah.
I vaped that with Debang liquids, and I thought Debang was like the best thing since sliced bread at the time. Turns out it's not.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. So I had that, and then what did I upgrade to? I think I got the first Nautilus, which I'm on the Nautilus 2 now, but I think I got the first Nautilus, and I had I can't remember what mod it was. I think it was just a generic mod. And then my first sub-ohm setup was a so at the times when I started sub-ohming, you had the Atlantis, the Aspire Atlantis, which was like the Don of sub-ohm tanks, wasn't it? And then you had the Kangatech sub-tank, yeah. So I went against the grain, got the Kangatech, much to my demise, and what was it? An Aspire CF sub-stick. So yeah, I remember getting that and posting a photo of it like lent on a weird angle in my bathroom. So I was so pleased with this like it's like 28 watt sub-ohm setup that blew like mad clouds. And I went straight in for 0 meg because I thought, right, this is it. This is a step forward. And then about a day later, I went back to 3 meg because it was ridiculous. And I was stressed.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. See, as I say, like the first one that makes you sort of go, yeah, man, like take the picture, everything.
That was the first time I ever really thought, wow, this is like better than smoking. So much better than smoking. Yeah.
So leading on to sort of obviously your business, because Jake obviously runs AIV. That was one of the first like ventures that you went on. What prompted you to start AIV, going into the mechs and stuff like that?
So AIV wasn't the first actually. We had another juice company who actually started in juice.
Ill-informed.
Yeah, well, you learn something new every day. Every day is a school day. So me and my friend Chris Salt-Smith, so he was a RAF mate. We was driving one day and we was just having a chat, and loads of people at work, I used to make my own juice, and loads of people at work kept saying, why don't you make juice for us? If you make it in big batches, we'll buy it off you. I was never interested because it was extra work. Just something I didn't want to do because I made my own liquid to save myself money, not make myself more aggro. So one day we got bored of asking, and we was like, should we put a bit of money into it each? We weren't a lot of money. I think we put like 200 quid each in. Bought a Dymo printer, bought a load of bottles. Well, I say a load of bottles at the time. It was probably like 100 bottles. And
a lot for you because you just started.
Yeah, at the time it was a lot, and we thought we was balling basically. Thought it was big dogs, and so we had a few recipes. I think we mixed 6 litres of juice, and I remember us like looking at it. This was pre-TPD days. This was probably getting on for nearly 3 years ago now. And I remember looking at 6 litres of juice like, we're never going to sell this. This is a horrendous amount. Do you know what I mean? And we was just like, we've made a mistake. We've thrown 200 quid away. So we started selling it to people at work. We took like a little sample pack in, let everyone try it, and we made like 25 quid in the first day, and we was blown our mind that we'd made money from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of like not a joke venture, but I didn't think either of us ever thought it would go anywhere. And then we started a Facebook group. So we started a Facebook group, and then it went mad. Over the course of about 6 months, it went from being nothing to we was making like a decent wage out of it. And then Chris decided that he wanted more time with his family, which I don't blame him. Me and him wanted to be mates rather than business partners, because it developed into a business. So me and Chris are still really good mates now. He buys Brews Bros liquid from us. And that's how it all started. My brother bought Chris's half off him probably 2 years ago. We closed that down last year, so beginning of last year, and then we started AIV with what we had left, and then obviously
Is it what? So what made you decide to go in the mechs?
It's just something I become interested in. Maybe 2-3 years ago, maybe more. Became interested in it. I've got a slight engineering background. I can weld. Liam's a welder. He's a fabricator. We've always liked to make stuff. Before I went in the RAF, me, my dad, and my brother started a company building custom motorbikes called Edition 17. So that was our first real venture into business. I left that. I kind of parted ways with them to go in the RAF because I wanted to do other things. And then they carried on for a while. That closed down for several different reasons, really. But so yeah, we've always had an engineering kind of background, and we just thought, how hard can it be to make mech mods? Which, if present me could tell past me.
That's one of my future questions.
Yeah, like, don't do it.
Right, sorry, jump cut. I had a bit phone call just then, so we'll continue. So yeah, basically, so with AIV, you've literally just brought out the MERS, which seems to be going down really well at the moment. I mean, we had the vape night here. You brought one down. Everyone seemed to really like it, and it seems to be doing well on social media and that. In regards to that, any more mech designs for the future for AIV? Have you got anything planned?
Yeah. So the thing is with our mechs, the people who follow us will know the Valkyrie, our first one, and the Blood Axe, our second one, was made in China. We've never been reserved about that. We've always been open about it. From day one, we always wanted to do it in the UK. We wanted to actually do it ourselves, but just the setup costs is ridiculous. So
you'd be talking like purge costs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we never really wanted to charge big money like the 5 bill mods, as the Americans call it. So yeah, we got an opportunity where I've seemed to fall out of every machinist we ever have, because I like things to be right and they just don't listen to anything I say. But that's like an ongoing joke in AIV, like, how long will it take for Jake to upset the machinist, so we have to find a new one. So yeah, we're on mod number 3, machinist number 3. But we've really cracked it this time. The Valkyrie was a good mod. The Blood Axe was a good mod, but in my
Blood
opinion,
Axe was a really good mod.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the Blood Axe.
Yeah, and for the money, it gave a lot of people the opportunity to have a high quality mech or a very good quality mech for not a lot of money. It retailed for $72.99, which is.
It is a bargain. Yeah, in terms of mech mods and that, it's definitely up there with the bargains.
Yeah, it's not far off clone money, really. As in, not clone quality, but clone. I mean, if you want to use a clone, spot on. At least as long as you're not smoking, it's whatever. I have a personal hold against clones because of you're robbing someone else's work, if you will. But there's lots of scenarios where you can go into that where it's the same with like Cody and things like that online.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. But so we've gone with a UK machinist. The only thing that's not sourced in the UK is the springs. We use Strowwave springs, and they're from America. No one in the UK does them, and they're a cool spring design. They work well. So yeah, we've gone fully UK manufactured. The price has gone up naturally, but yeah, we're blown away with the quality of them, and we can do so much more.
That's the MERS you're talking about.
Yeah. So
what about future designs?
I've strayed away from your actual original question there. So future design. So I'm not the one that designs the mods. Liam is the CAD CAM wizard. He does all the designs, and we both go backwards and forwards to the machinist. But in design terms, we've probably got 15 to 20 mods designed.
Oh, okay.
Ready to go.
So plenty there.
Yeah, but obviously if you get shortlisted, the next one's pretty much already done and designed. But obviously we have to go through prototypes. It's probably going to take us three months. We'll be at the end of the summer before that's
Keep a lookout.
Yeah, that possibly could be a side fire mod. That's what we're looking at the minute.
Oh, okay.
So like the Dominus or the the Gammon Mark II.
Vapor Giant did one, didn't they?
Yeah, there's a few people that have done them, and not many have done them well. The Gammon's meant to be a fantastic mod. I've not actually used one myself because they're like rocking all shit to get hold of, and expensive. And the Dominus, I've never used one of them either. Actually,
I haven't used any of them.
I've never got around to using them since we started making mechs. I've had very little time to be a hobbyist myself anymore.
I'll say Blood Axe is probably only my second mech mod, to be fair. So I can't sort of comment too much in terms of like quality or anything like that. All I do know is it hit like I think it's supposed to have done, and it was a comfy button. So for me, it was a win-win.
Yeah. So
also taking 2700s, don't have to worry about your amps too much and stuff.
Although
like
I don't highly rate the 2700 battery, we thought the technology was going to blast past us in production times, and when the Blood Axe hit the market, there was going to be an array of VTC 5A equivalent batteries out there, which there isn't. It didn't happen. No, I mean the
Sanyo, isn't it?
The Sanyo A is a fantastic cell, but whether you can get it, and for me, you need something that's going to be. It's like having a really nice juice, but you can never get it. I think it was it back in the day. Grant's Custard was like the custard to buy. There was like a pre-order list for juice, and that
X1 on your Facebook and things like that.
We never wanted to be. We never wanted to be like that. I mean, even though our new mods are fairly limited, but it's the technology is not where it should be yet. If it does get there, 2700s will take over.
Oh well. All right, so leading on from obviously your mechs and everything like that, obviously repping the jumper there, and one of the reasons why we got to know each other, Brews Bros. What prompted you to start the Brews Bros then? Like you and Liam getting into the market.
I mean, we obviously closed the previous company down. We just made, we made pre-TPD juice before the TPD. Then we went on to short fills. And what I found the TPD did with short fill, well, not short fills, just juice in general, is it did the exact opposite of what it was meant to do. So it was meant to strain out all juice suppliers, like myself. Obviously, we started as home brewers.
Yeah, bathtub
the bathtub brewers and all that, which I think a lot of big companies started out that way, to be honest, because no one back in the day had the capital to get an ISO 7 clean room and get it all. Yeah,
there was loads and loads. I remember I bought hundreds and hundreds of different ones from bathtub brewers and things like that, and there's a few that's gone on to obviously manufacture but I think also the TPD kind of sparked some thing with vapors about hating homebrew when they've probably been vaping it for ages. So I'm not against homebrew. I like ambitious people, so if someone thinks they can make something of themselves and do something, then do it all above board. But I never knock anyone for trying, because I've been in that situation before myself. So we basically thought the market had become flooded with juice, to answer your question, and we would have had to be not very special, because I hold high thoughts of our juice anyway. It is quality juice, but it's hard to stand out in a crowd of thousands as opposed to before, where there was everyone's trying it, aren't they?
Everyone's having a go at it, and there's only a few other concentrate manufacturers who do the same style we do. So it was revolutionised by Flavor Boss. Flavor Boss started that. They're obviously the Boss shot, the big bottle with the concentrate in the bottom. Our rendition of that is the Brews shot. And then you have places like Darkstar, you have Drip Axe. Drip Axe are another fantastic company. You have Monster Shots. I'm just plugging everyone else here, but why not? We're all friends. So we just thought that would be something where we'd be better off going. Me as a home brewer anyway, or someone who used to mix my own juice, thought it'd be nice to cater to that market. And it's a big market, but one that's not tapped into very much. So wanted to do something a little bit different. And obviously we do short fills and stuff still anyway now, but
I know this answer, and so will probably quite a few of your followers will know this answer. But your favourite e-liquid from Brews Bros?
From Brews Bros? Depends what mood I'm in. I would say Ice Tropicate.
I was going to say, I thought that would be easy. That's it, Ice Tropicate.
I don't know. I used to be a very like one flavour kind of guy. But I mean, mouth to lung, if I haven't got Isotropicade in it, it's a strange day. But the rare occasions where I sub home or use a mech, I do use a mech at home, but when I'm out and about at work on the go, I use this because it gives me nicotine, keeps me away from smoking, because let's be honest, no one's perfect.
Was it Donut Blues as well, the other one?
No, I like Donut Blues. Liam's a big fan of the Donut Blues. I like the Melamade, which is my recipe. The Isotropicade is Liam's recipe, which is our #1 seller, which he always reminds me of, winds me up. But yeah, I like a mixture. I've got a little bit into desserty flavours again at the minute. I'm working on a lemon cheesecake, and that's
nice.
Yeah, it's just a little bit different from the other, like the lemon tart kind of flavours that everyone seems to be doing. But yeah, I've really enjoyed vaping that, and I don't.
Well, mine, by the way, is Custard Dynasty all the way. Like, literally, you just made me up with 500ml. I'm going to go through that really quickly.
Yeah.
If you like your custards, it's custard, it's millionaire shortbread, biscuit, everything. Yeah. I mean, I know, like, you got the guy making it and you got a guy selling it, like, but trust me, just try it. Just try it. That's all I'm saying. If you like your custards, try it, then you'll see what we're talking about. So, what would you say to someone who was looking at buying their first DIY kit? I mean, some people like look at it and go, "Oh, DIY, like, oh, you know, it's too much hassle," or, you know, I don't think I'll be able to do that. What would you say to the people out there, the average Joe?
So it's probably an easy question because I've said it to so many people. We get a lot of emails asking about it. Just forget everything you already think you know about DIY if you go in with the starter kit, brews box kind of method, because a lot of people have tried DIY 3 years ago, 4 years ago, had a horrendous failure because they've not followed any recipe. Everyone's done it. I did it as well. I had to come through that. No one starts mixing e-liquid and is a complete mixologist, as they call us.
I thought I would have been.
Yeah,
I went in it so cocky. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to add all this. I'm going to add this.
I think you hope to go into it and make a liquid that's like rivaling some of the top premium liquids out there, and you think it's going to be easy. You put 10% of this in, 5% of that in, 5% of that. Boom, 20%, got a flavour. But
no, it's not like that.
There's much more complexity to making a recipe, and if you, I mean, I'm an advocate of you mixing your own juice. If you want to go single flavours, and we hopefully are going to bring our own single flavours out at some point for people to go deep into home brewing and mixing. But yeah, just forget everything you already know. Don't overcomplicate it. It's so easy. I mean, when short fills came out, people were like, I won't be able to do it, and all it is pouring a Nick shot into a bottle and shaking it. But people were still put off by that and scared, and I think that because they're forced into doing it as such, because you can't buy anything else, it's natural to people now.
I still get people like that now. So some customers will come in and I'll just be like, oh, so this is 0 nicotine, and you'd have to add the nicotine in afterwards, and they're sort of like looking like, oh, what?
Yeah, and, like,
and then until I say you literally just pour it in, put the lid back on and shake it, and you're done, and that's it. And okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much as easy as that one, really.
Yeah.
Like,
so I mean, if you're on our Facebook group, there's a video on there of me basically doing a tutorial. It's a pretty laid back tutorial. It's an easy watch. It's me laughing and joking, Liam saying shit to me while he's not on camera, trying to make me laugh. But yeah, so you just put, if you're going to use nicotine shots, if you can't get hold of 72mg nicotine anymore, it's 4 nicotine shots in the 250ml bottle. And then we've also got quick brew coming out soon as well. So you just top it up to the shoulder of the bottle, shake it, steep it, vape it. That's it, it's done.
And that's 3mg, 4 Nick shots.
Yeah, and that's 3mg. Anything over that, it's going to become quite expensive and non-cost effective to go over it. So if you are a 6mg vapor, great time to drop down, or see if you can source yourself some 72mg nicotine. Bit of a taboo subject, but it is still out there.
I'm not keep on checking my Facebook status, by the way. I've got my questions on my phone here, so just, you know, if anyone's like questioning if I'm just sort of looking at my phone, I'm not.
He's bored of me talking, so he's just looking at Facebook.
So do you have any plans that you can share what's happening going forward, just within like just you and Liam, or like Brews Bros, AIV, or anything like that? Any sort of exciting plans that you might be able to share, or is there some bits that you got to keep close to your chest?
So no, I've always been fairly open with what we're doing. A lot of people say it'll be the downfall of me because I mentioned new flavours like the lemon cheesecake before it's out, and they say, what if the competition jumps in there and and they release it first. Well, they can't release it first because they don't know what my recipe is.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
if people want to do that, then
there's going to be 30 other lemon cheesecakes as well, isn't it? It's just a matter of yours is standing out.
But imitation's the best form of flattery, so they say. So it's never bothered me. I've always been fairly open. I announced new mechs and kind of released teasers of new mechs far too early.
So what you got planned then?
So our new mech, like I say earlier, it could be a side fire. I don't know. When we say could be, anything could change in the next 2 months. It could go drastically wrong in the prototyping, and we could change the way it works. Liquids wise, we want to try and get to 25 flavours by the end of the year, or in between 20 and 25.
What are you currently on?
So we're currently on 14. 14, yeah. So we've just released the 2 new ones, Melomade and the non-ice Tropicade today, so that brings us to 14, aside from the original 10 that we launched with last October. So yeah, but no, definitely.
So a lot more flavours and then potentially side fire and mech, but a new mech regardless.
Yeah, definitely a new mech. I want to do a series box at some point as well, but Anasquanca. There's loads of things we want to do. It's just having the time, the money our end, the capital to input it into it. If we had a gigantic bundle of cash, we'd be doing loads of things. But unfortunately, the way business works...
this laptop's doing my head in.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way business works, it doesn't work like that. But we also, as you notice, I have a beard. Liam has a beard. And a lot of vapors tend to have a beard. Men only, obviously. We are looking at the minute into releasing Brews Bros or some form of Brews Bros branding beard oil.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, a bit of a different one, a bit of like our kind of twist on it. Like Drip Axe, they have their CBD. There's certain people who have certain spins on the market. People might
it's
think
merch, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it's like the merch with the jumpers, the hats, the things like that as well.
And we think we can like kind of put our flavour knowledge into beard oil. I know you don't taste beard oil, but the smells, fragrances, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I mean, that's not dead set. We've spoke about it in business meetings.
Yeah, do not take this as a...
It's been brought up. It may never happen. It may happen, but if it does, you heard it here first.
Yeah. Right. So I think you answered a little bit of this earlier and that, but what advice would you give yourself if you could go back to when you first started in the industry, like from now, like what you've learned now?
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know about advice. I wish I knew what I know now 10 years ago, but we spoke about that earlier when I was in, didn't we?
Because we would be quite rich right now.
I'd be. We wouldn't be here on YouTube. We'd be.
Well, I might be, but I'd have like 41,000 subscribers, not 41.
Yeah, possibly a Lamborghini or two and a beach house in Florida. But yeah, you can't dwell on that. But no, I think any advice for myself is I don't know. I took a lot of. Didn't take a lot of shit in the early days, but I kind of did a lot of things for a lot of people who weren't kind of there to help me out, and just didn't really have a sound understanding of business and the way it worked. And I think a lot of people not underestimated me because I'm not like a business shark or anything like that. A lot of people kind of saw me. I mean, I'm only 24. When I got into this, I was 21. So a lot of people saw me as a 21-year-old and didn't take me seriously. I think people do now because I've got a beard and I look loads older than what I am, but
I thought it was at least 30.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think take yourself seriously. Take yourself seriously, and other people will as well. And just
good advice.
Yeah.
Where do you see the industry?
Not too seriously though, because if you take yourself too seriously, you become a bore.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want that. All right. No. So, where do you see the industry as a whole going in the next few years? Do you see much changing? I mean, because I know. Obviously, TBD is being reviewed. They might be taking out E-Cigs in 2019.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a weird one.
Do you see that happening?
I don't even know if I want that to happen. I mean, I'm not for the TPD. I'm for regulation 100% because regulation brings safety, and safety brings obviously better health for people. I think people not smoking as much and people vaping more is obviously taking a massive stress off the already stressed NHS. Before we get into too much politics, but I think there is some things that need lifting out, like the 2 mil tanks, things like ridiculous. That. It doesn't even really make any sense why you would have. I mean, if you want to have a 30 mil tank, like for instance, I used to be a driver before I did this. If you're driving for long periods of time, so 4.5 hours, the average sub-ohm tank will deplete 2 ml of juice in 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. I mean, I've got a Kylin V2, and that thing it's like the V10 of vapor equivalent, basically. It just saps juice through. So yeah, I don't really understand that. I don't see where their logic was with that. The 10 ml
with nicotine
10 ml with nicotine has never really made sense either, because it was, from my understanding, it was done because if a child got that 100 ml bottle of 3 milligram and drank it, it wouldn't be lethal. It would harm them, yeah. Whereas you're now giving them the opportunity to drink 18 milligram in 10 ml. I know they'll only disperse or dispense a certain amount of drips per, however, but if the lid was to come off, or the nib was to come off, and they were to drink that, I don't think it would massively harm them, but you still don't want a kid drinking 18 milligram.
Basically, put your juice away from kids.
I think,
like, you don't leave bleach on the side with its bottle open or something like that.
Ultimately, you need to take some care in what you're doing. Obviously, yeah, it's a liquid, it smells nice, it's fruity, but you wouldn't leave your cigarettes on the side with a lighter next to it with your kid, or you wouldn't leave. There's loads of different things on what you can and can't do around kids, and that it's just one of them things. You keep it out of their way. But if a kid was to drink some of that, it's not. I don't know if you've ever tasted concentrate or e-liquid. It's quite harsh, and there's a weird flavour to it. But obviously, you can taste it, but it's got a horrible back note. It's not nice to drink. Excuse me. So if you was going to drink a little bit of 3 milligram and you managed to get 10 mil down you, that's obviously less harmful than 18 milligram. So I don't know, it's just backwards. So hopefully they flip that over and we get away from short fills and we can start doing still tested liquids. I'm all for that, that's fine. But hopefully back to 100 mil pre-nicotine juices, basically, so people don't have to pour it in. And that's coming from me as a DIY aspect. Obviously that's like the devil.
Yeah, I was going to say, how would it work with, like, sort of would it, do you reckon, affect boss shots, things like that?
No, so I don't think it would,
because I guess there'll still be the value aspect from, like, boss shots and things like that, wouldn't there?
Yeah,
brew shots. Sorry.
Yeah. Brew shots, boss shots. Rob's plugging the wrong people. But
Jesus Christ!
It is a hard word to not say, because, like I said, they revolutionised it. So boss shot is the word that most people say.
It's like saying Hoover when you say vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Well, they're not. I guess they're not on that level, but
or a Dyson. Yeah.
I'm trying to dig myself out of this grave right now.
But yeah, so no, I mean, even though that may compete again with us and I don't think it'll bring our levels of sales down, because I don't think people will ever go back from DIY to buying premium liquids. I mean, I still buy the odd premium liquid every now and then to try it, new flavour profiles. And it's nice to be different. Yeah, you can't buy this.
Just
you
choice,
can't buy
isn't it?
religiously the same thing all the time. It's nice to have a choice. And me as a vapor, I like to try new things.
Unless it's Custard Dynasty.
So I have got our juices in there, but it doesn't cost me any money, obviously. So I ultimately, when I started vaping, I did it to save myself money, and that's what I do. But I do treat myself every now and then. I bought myself a Minikin from Rob today, and a new Nautilus, because my old one fell out of my my bag while I was on my motorbike.
Coming to me, so he'd blame me, of course.
Yeah, well, I came to drop a wholesale order off for Rob, so it was his fault. So
obviously,
so yeah, so then I had to buy one off him. But yeah, this kind of thing, spot on. I don't use a lot of juice, but the market now, where it is, people are using 30, 40, 50. Some people saying they're using 100 ml a day. I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know if you could actually
100 ml a day. Jesus, I think you'd have to have it like literally just plugged into your mouth.
Even on a really heavy day dripping on a mech with a lowish build, I struggle to smash.
I think you could
30
do 30. Yeah, like 30 would be
a lot of vaping. Like, I mean, if you're drinking, obviously you're gonna vape more, because it's the same as the smoking aspect. You have a few drinks, you seem to smoke for the sake of it. But yeah, I think the average is probably in between 20 and 30 ml a day, which is a lot of liquid. When 100, I mean, when I started vaping, 100 ml. I remember when 100 ml bottles came out, and they were 38 quid in shops. And I remember looking at this bottle like it was like a gallon drum.
Yeah.
Thinking I'll never get through that. And then the more new technology came out, and the more new technology came out, 100 ml bottles came out, and they were 38 quid in shops. And I remember looking at this bottle like it was like a gallon drum. Yeah. Thinking I'll never get through that. And then the more new technology came out, 100 ml bottles came out, and they were 38 quid in shops. And I remember looking at this bottle like it was like a gallon drum. Yeah. Thinking I'll never get through that. And then the more new technology came out, it got more and more. And I
yeah,
was
the sub tanks and that, basically, the more powerful they got, the more the demand was for more volumes of liquid.
Yeah, I mean, I think regulated mods and tanks and stuff like that have hit their absolute peak. I don't think they'll go any higher than what they are now, because you physically can't get any more power out of those devices. Well, you can out of the device, but through the coil without it.
They'll try. I'd imagine Smok will bring out one like
but I mean, the
18 coil. Like,
and unless you have like a platform
watts.
that big, but it'd still be pointless, because all you're going to do is waste juice and not get any different experience.
Well, as I say, you can only fit so much vapor in your lung at one time anyway, so you could. There's always got to be a cut-off point. Concluding on that. So, cheers for coming and having this interview. If you wanted to just plug like a little bit of like where people can find out a little bit more information about your products and stuff like that.
So I'm not massive for plugging, but while we're here I will. I'm pretty sure Rob will put the link in the description. thebrewsbros.co.uk, that's where you can find all of our stuff. There's a little bio about us, and you've probably heard enough about me already, but there's a little bit of where we are, who we are, where we're from, what we're doing, all that kind of stuff. There's a picture of the old RAF camp that we're based on out in Manby. If you don't DIY,
try it.
Do it, get into it.
And if you really, really don't want to, then just come into my shop and we stock his short fills. So
everyone's a winner.
And AIV as well. AIV, you got AIV.
I mean, I've got a little write up I'm doing soon, because we actually vented a VTC 5A inside of one of the Mercies about 3 days ago now. Purposely, obviously, we didn't vent it by accident. So we controlled explosion, as they call them, and I was absolutely shocked to how long it takes to vent a cell. So all these people scared of using mechs. I'm not using this as a plug to buy our mechs. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. If you don't feel safe using a mech, then don't, but do some research.
Ohm's law.
Yeah, Ohm's law, all that good stuff. The main things with that is your battery wrap needs to be perfect. Your build needs to be good, and you need to just know what you're doing and just take some care. It's not a hard way of vaping.
No, if you do it sensibly, so don't build ridiculously low.
Yeah.
You know, a 0.1 on a VCT 5A, that's, as long as it's wrapped well, as you said, you're not really going to go wrong. You'd have to seriously do something seriously wrong.
2 or 3 second pulses anyway. But
so anyway, thanks for watching this episode. I hope you found it a bit interesting, bit into, as I say, the ingoings of Jake's mind. I guess Liam's as well.
As broken as it is sometimes.
But so if you could hit the like button, you could subscribe, and that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you again to everyone that already has. And until next time.